Africa democracy is nonsense. Democracy is not working for Africa. The Western style of democracy is absolutely nonsense. Africa must find our own system of governance. This Western style of governance is to control Africa. The Western form of democracy is to control our leaders, right? So you see, when you see African leaders in opposition, you think they are the messiah of, our various countries in Africa here. But if you vote for them, they start to misbehave. Do you know why? Because the West sponsor most of them. Only few leaders in Africa here are good. The rest, they are puppets to the West. The West sponsor them. They give them everything they need. So when they take over our various countries, they give our resource back to the West. We need the Russians and Chinese system of governance. If they tell you that the Chinese system of governance is evil, my brother, look at China 30 years ago and look at China today. You cannot just wake up in China and say you want to become leader. It doesn't work that way.
All right, Abusiafo, Mema Munina Akwa Banameka will say we are live on two platforms. So called Facebook, we are live on Freemind Family News. So called YouTube Unsua. We are live on Freemind Family. And then so we are here to discuss Russia-Ukraine war. Now, and then ye Jumedino will center or will focus on these three topics. Number one, latest update on Russia-Ukraine war. Number two, impact of the war on African economies. Number three, must Africans join BRICS? Must Africans join BRICS? Intimin Saka, Yunia Bema, Timo Media. Timo Media, you'll be about geopolitics. Any international relations with Musa or you'll be at Unim Depa now. Meneno and a barbitration community. No, my main fan Brasso na Yenshe Jumedi Asi. Yeah, we need Timo, me Wakwaba.
Freemind, me Joso.
Bibi Aboko, dear Minia.
Nyame Adomboko, now so.
Miss me hoyepa. Outside na memo akasa no mami can play sa video way. I think that yes, it's one of your videos. Let me play this video. Now for
So Russia launched another missile strike across Ukraine. They use ballistic missiles. They use a lot. I mean, they use drones, and the West. It seems like all the air defense system that they sent to Ukraine is not working. Right? It's time for Ukraine to negotiate. I don't care the number of territories they've lost. Nobody can take back those territories. NATO is only deceiving them. NATO is using Ukraine as a proxy to weaken Russia. And clearly it has failed. The economic war, the Russians have won it. So there is nothing that NATO can do. The Russians have fortified their defense lines. Their mobilization was successful or has been a successful one. They have the manpower, they have the equipment, the economy is in good shape. The question is, how many territories is Ukraine prepared to lose? They lost only Crimea in 2014. The Russians told them to sit down and negotiate. They refused. They violated the Minsk agreement in 2014. And now they are deceiving them that they can retake back their lands, they can retake Crimea. That is not going to happen. That will never happen. Innocent people are dying in Ukraine for no reason, for foolish reasons, just because of NATO is trying to weaken Russia, which has failed. This war is rather weakening America and the West, and not Russia. They are only using Ukraine as a proxy. People are going to die for foolish reasons. They are dying because of America and the West, right? Nothing is going to change. The Russians have built their defense lines. They fortified their defense lines. They lost, Kherson and, the likes of Liman because they were outnumbered on the battlefield, right? They now have more men. When it comes to equipment, they can produce them in time. They produce more equipment even more than NATO. So let nobody deceive you out there that NATO can win this war. It is not going to happen. What happened to the Patriot air defense system and what have you they promised Ukraine? Where is it? The Russians airstrike continue. And don't forget that General Surovikin is now in charge of Russia Air Force. And that guy is merciless. That guy will destroy everything. If you want to know who General Surovikin is, just make research about the Syria conflict. America lost in Syria. And there is no way that they can win in Ukraine.
Right. America lost in Syria, and there's no way they can win in Ukraine. Minia, Once again, the Samsung now Akaba Bium, I welcome you once again.
Major also, Freemind.
Right.
Major also.
Right. Russia-Ukraine war, China and air market exactly 1 year since Russia Ebola Ukraine. Latest update, any dear saying near Mexico, is it going in favor of Russia now? Said the Western. How is the whole situation like in Ukraine?
So the whole situation, there will be a big answer. Say, is going in favor of the Russians. We know, it's just a matter of time. No matter what, Russia is going to win this war. Russia, they are fighting this war of attrition. They've taken their time. They are not interested. Said they are going to rush. They are not ready to trade men for territory. They don't fight that way. So it's going in favor of the Russians. It's just a matter of time. Now, Bakhmut has been the biggest battle. Now, over Bakhmut, and so the Russians are closing in. They are not interested in fighting. Say, we are to two. No more kunku mama for. They are not doing that. The Russians are fighting in a smart way. What they are doing is say they are cutting all the supply lines because why now a lead ko Bakhmut now or the weapons ko Russians capture most of this, so they are encircling Bakhmut. That is what they are doing. So the moment on encircle Krunipe, you cannot send in weapons and you cannot retreat, just like what they did in Babi friends and Mariupol, Azovstal. You know, the Russians, what they did in Azovstal and Mariupol, they said they surrounded Azovstal. Then they left the Ukrainian troops in. Later, Ukraine had no option than to surrender. And now you see, say, Mariupol is now under the control of Russia. And exactly that is the same thing that they are doing in Bakhmut. Bakhmut has been the biggest battle. So this war is going in favor of the Russians. So no doubt, Obi Obaka said, Ukraine beat Marini, be another. Now, one of the reasons why Ukraine intimidated weapons, America and the West, after Russia lost their position as a superpower, what America and the West and I say NATO and say they invade small countries. They invade countries omuntimi and so in terms of weapons. What I say, most of these countries, though they won their war against America, but they struggle, right? Most of these countries, they cannot produce weapons. Now, here comes a case. NATO is now fighting against a superpower. A superpower not to produce weapons, right?
Yeah.
And now, Russia fires around 20,000 rounds in a day. And Ukraine is firing just 5,000 rounds in a day. And now, even with the 5,000 rounds now, Ukraine air fire, Ukraine cannot meet the demands. America cannot produce those weapons in a month. In a day? They can't produce. Now, America and NATO produce around 15,000 shells in a month. 15,000. Whilst Ukraine fires around 5,000. And the weapons America be producing in a month, Ukraine uses those weapons in just 3 days. What you say? One of the reasons why Ukraine is still fighting here, weapons na ne water dano. Weapons na NATO water dano. So weapons now the weapons are now out. Now we have Germany. Germany is going to supply Ukraine weapons bill. Over probably say Italy for also say they are out. They are not going to give Ukraine weapons again unless humanitarian support. Now over weapons are NATO for and also America epic good Syria for Middle East conflict. Omaka control weapons in about Ukraine. And now they are asa over weapons of good South Korea. Say and can talk see because North Korea and South Korea and talk one into know Americans say the weapons be so good South Korea. So weapons in also asa. So now about production America cannot meet the demands now Ukraine here no because weapons on any day bosume ebe produce uncle for just 3 days no massa no. So this is one thing about production later sooner or later they are going to lose the war because they cannot produce. Now you cannot
people are also say okay. I'll come in later.
Okay, you cannot produce weapons overnight. It takes time. Say import America to an person produce more weapons. They cannot produce more weapons because it takes time to build up these factories. It takes time to put all these factories. Now this is the difference between America and Russia. Russia military industrial complex is owned by the state. Okay. And almost after Second World War, Soviet Union and as a Russia forecast say they will never sit down and allow the Adolf Hitler, the Bolsheviks, they will never allow that to happen to them again, killing 25 million of their citizens. So they will never sit down and allow that. So what Russia did, they say, they produce a lot of weapons. They have a lot of weapons on my pack here. And they said they produce, say the person produce T90 tanks. Or produces spare parts in dada. Maybe the T14, T90, T80, T52, any tank you could possibly think about. Or produces spare parts in dada. Yeah, Dawson. So what they do, they say they assemble them very quick. But what America has done over the years, and they say, American military industrial complex is owned by private entities, is owned by the politicians. And in Tromoko Krubiso Nomako Kanta, said produce weapons, now these politicians will make money. So American military industrial complex, it only works when you give them contract. So more contractor or so this is the big difference. Russia so they produce everything in advance. What I say, Russia have over 15,000 tanks. So I can say Russia bet my 15,000 tanks. You can name them the T90, T52, T60. Name them the T. Even with the T14, can say the latest or the best tank in the world. Nobody can tell me say even the Abraham tank is the best. No, the Russians have the T14, which is the best tank, but they are not ready to deploy it on the battlefield. If they deploy it, definitely NATO will capture it and they will steady it. And they are not going to do that. They will never deploy it. So they have all these weapons in stockpile. Nuclear weapons, so BB. So there's no way that Russia can run out of weapons. Once NATO is running out of weapons, in America, even Semutie Stoltenberg, NATO General Secretary, he admitted it. He said they are running out of weapons. They don't have weapons. I think last 2 weeks, news more. Many people, many media houses were reporting this. And I started reporting this Freemind since September, and I'm started reporting say NATO is running out of weapons. They don't have weapons. Because the moment who say almost starting here now more weapons free Israel or more weapons free South Korea and then they don't have weapons. And now this war is also making United States more vulnerable. Because weapons are and North Korea and South Korea and weapons also use. These are the weapons Ukraine or Mokono. Now they are not running out of weapons. What I say. So this is one of the reasons why I'm saying Russia is going to win the war.
Wow. Interesting. I think about some few days ago, US Secretary of State, Blinken Babontimeka said, from the look of things, information is that China wants to start supplying Russia with weapons. As a China for Russia, and no is going to create a third world war. Do you think that China will someday decide to send weapons to Russia?
It's funny, they say China, Iran, North Korea, no supply Russia weapons. Look, Russia could be our weapons. No country in NATO can compare themselves to, Russia. And two, you see, there is no way, people must understand this. China is supporting Russia economically. And there is no way that China will ever sit down and allow Russia to lose this war. That's like the way you guys see, said America is supporting Ukraine. No? That is the same way. And your friend China is also supporting Russia. Because Russia lose, China is in problem. Because right now, Americans also need China and so on talk already. Now, the China will weaken America and NATO over Ukraine. Say the your weapons, your money in the over Taiwan. So they are also using Russia as a proxy. That is what the Chinese are also doing. And international almost sanction Russia, not China for not stepping in. Almost someone thought Russia oil. Almost someone thought Russia oil. China stepping in. Now, if you look at the whole West, the whole collective West, they are just 400 million in population. China is about 1.2 to 1.3 billion in population. So they can step in. So that is why they are now buying, Russian oil. And almost supporting Russia, a third world war. We are already in third world war, right? So there is no way that China will sit down and watch Russia to lose. That is not going to happen. Militarily, economically, they will continue to support Russia. But militarily, I believe Russia have the capacity to fight. Because of production, NATO cannot match them. With China support or not, they will still, win. and probably say Iran and Russian drones. They think it's Russia doesn't have drones. Russia have one of the best drones. But in this particular war, no, if you release some of your best weapons out there, your enemy is going to capture them and steady them. What I said.
Yes.
So the was one of the main reasons why Russia is not interested. So don't want any drones. And number two, attrition will be an economic war. Attrition will be an economic war. Now, if you look at this attrition war now, financially, and so now Russia is using cheap drones or using kamikaze drones, which is around $30,000. Now, if over Patriot air defense system missile now, one Patriot air defense system missile, according to Colonel McGregor, it costs $6 million. Now, say Russia Esuma drone Bakubia, they have to fire 2 Patriot air defense system missiles. Now, which is about $12 million. Now, in Russia, you see just $30,000. Or some $30,000 drone. Now, with the $12 million, HAC drone, so Russians who use so much, what you say? Sooner or later, they'll run out of money. If you look at the Western America, their own citizens are not fed up with the war because this war is draining their economies. What you say? So where Germany, things are not going well for them. Where even the West amount or and England, things are not going well for them. Rishi Sunak is also facing the same thing like Boris Johnson and the likes of Lizzie Truss to move one way you move to Nefra. So I dream and a Russia for use and you so need drones. How can you tell me say a country like Russia or no bit more produce a tank or produce hypersonic missiles cannot produce drone? And I gonna have school university in Kuala Lumpur produce drones. As I am okay. Can US in Bolga for produce drone. Produce drone.
I see. Now, if Rasa invasion we shall see, the allies of Ukraine, they have been bold enough, or more Babontin said, we support Ukraine. America, UK, the NATO as a group, almost say, we dear, you play neutral, we support Ukraine. If we are saying that we almost say we support Ukraine. Now, Russian allies, I didn't think almost soon to me, Babontin, both linkers, so you supporting Russia, that's almost the oblivion. They try to play neutral. In the world of geopolitics, no. You may be saying, they go the way that they are going.
Okay, some of them, over countries like India and China, why some of them are playing neutral? Say India and China, they are been the whole you already know some of them declare support, but they don't want it to look like say they support aggression. Because of say Russia invade Ukraine, so they don't want to play a role like say they support aggression. But in geopolitics, the beginning say both Russia, China, North Korea, the likes of India, South Africa, all of these countries, they support Russia. But one of the main reasons they still have economic ties with the West. What you say? So they want the West to lose their global hegemon. But first of all, they cannot say omuntimi you manim enfan to abontin because you anima ha on be sanction Ukraine our economy either crippled because most of this world institutions is controlled by the West. The IMF, the World Bank, all these institutions are controlled by the Western America. So bebrena beda sumase support Russia because of sanctions. What you say? But why do you move that one who say no, Kuru will support Russia, Kuru will support Russia. And to Baom Yin sanctions will follow. But they are all patiently waiting for BRICS to take over. And gradually,
I see. Matisse Russia for missiles they can travel 5 times the speed of sound. Now some missiles, Ebene Kazan near the even America for Crampo Nibi. Russia for weapons severe, America for Kranibiana.
Exactly. Russia for the Avangan, the Zircon, and 3 hypersonic missiles. Three different. The Avangan, they have the Zircon, and they also have the I've forgotten the other one. But all these 3 weapons, apart from China and Russia for that technology, the hypersonic missile. Only them have it. America for Nibi. They are far ahead of America about the arm race. Right now, no America the corruption at the military industrial complex and up and some corruption over the Republicans, both the Republicans and the Democrats and all. Because of the military industrial complex, is owned by private entities into mutual military budget kakraka. No majisika no madi. Or more invest in the military. Even not just that, even about manpower, the Americans they don't match the Russians. Don't forget the Russians also have the Iskander. The Iskander is a ballistic missile launcher. The Iskander traveled far more than even the HIMARS. So about even the arm raiser, we use this hypersonic missiles. The Russians are far ahead. Don't forget the Russians also have the S-50, the S-55, the S-60. These are all air defense systems. Nobody in the West can compare any air defense system at all they have to these air defense systems. So Russia is far ahead about readers. The Russians are far ahead of America about readers. And you say they have America for bombers and the F-35 bombers and I say fighter jets. You almost say these fighter jets are invisible. And you know, Russia for our radars a bit to detect any bomber, any fighter jet out there. So the Russians are far ahead in many places about the arm race competition now because Putin, he's very smart. He was playing along all this while. All this while now in America for he knew very well say so they prepared ahead since Papa take you over and I think when you nibi and I could do any Africa to say Putin. Look, and over Russian economy in 99 now Russian economy today. You get to know say good leadership is everything for a country. So, the Russians are leading American hypersonic missiles.
I see. I think some time ago, not me share a video but could be on TikTok. Now that I say me say the American economy, military, is heavily reliant on technology. Now, so about Russia, they need different. It's about Russia and American Russia can simply knock down their satellite and that will be over for the US. Person will elaborate on that,
Okay, no correct. Russia for no our S-55. The S-55 for no is almost designed just to knock out satellite, right? And say weapons like GPS precision guided missile systems like the HIMARS, using internet. What you say? And Russia for knock out satellite technology and you what you say? Because America heavily rely on technology. Their military heavily rely on technology. And Russia also a weapon, the S-55 design. Their main purpose and they say knock it down satellite, American satellite. Or movie they knock it down their own satellite. Don't forget the Russians have their own satellite. They don't use American satellite. They don't use GPS. They have their own system on one side. So and to come back to see a normal knock it down satellite. America is done. Because American military, they are soft. They are not hard. They heavily rely on technology. Now, it have to be manpower. And when it comes to manpower, when it comes to trench war, when it comes to all this style of war, Russia, for that style now, and a war between Russia and America, is not going to be technology like many people are more gonna say they use technology more. No, about to set it a war. No, you have to get your boot on the ground like Second World War. Your men have to step their foot and fight. One of the reasons why Russia and knock down satellite in Ukraine here because we are seeing that you now use the satellite, and they don't want to create an impression. So I'm going to that is the one of the reasons why they haven't knocked out satellite. They've allowed them to fight. And two, over Russia for now, all the precision guided missile systems in America but be almost supply lines in it will not get there. It will never get to their supply lines. And whether they knock it down or not, they cannot do anything with it. So
Right. I think about 2 days ago, Joe Biden, US president, Eba Ukraine, Oba Kyiv, passing through I think Poland via train railway. Now, Ibinom interpreted it's a sign of America's strength over Russia. Someone in Ukraine for now say America President Putin back Ukraine ho. Now say more to me then the shade and say America, Russia is so America. Kakrabe, and I say when I'll be
Russia is not interested in killing even Zelensky, neither to talk about Joe Biden. Can who say superpowers or not, they don't kill each other leaders. They're not interested, they don't kill. There are many times the likes of Gorbachev, they visited America without anything. Can who say under Ronald Reagan more time no Cold War between America and Russia, no? None of them targeted their country leaders because Russia in a Nimsu Joe Biden is here. That means nuclear war. The same thing is happening. America will never agree say Obi to say Vladimir Putin. They will not do that openly. They will never do that. Because the moment of what do two weapon right? Secretly they can kill him, but openly there nobody is going to do that. Not Russia, not America. I mean, they will never do that. They are not interested in killing him.
I see. Right. Now, with your knowledge on this war and with your knowledge on in geopolitics, Sebastian Yekasa draw a peace plan for the Russia-Ukraine war. Now and Tokano Emra area. What will your peace plan be?
To me, Ukraine neutrality, number one, will be my number one priority. Ukraine should stay neutral. If Ukraine stay neutral, that is it.
Neutral from what? Neutral from there.
Neutral from joining NATO and regime change. Zelensky cannot still be in power. Zelensky regime change, but number one should be neutrality. Number two should be regime change. I think that these two things seals everything. Number three, territories now, Ukraine, they will never get it back. Nobody can take it back. I repeat this. I was Leningrad, right? Border between Finland and Russia under Joseph Stalin in 1939. Abra Finland for the Germano say na Western America for supported Finland in 1910. In Tokyo we are cause we BC 1939. Say na you started Joseph Stalin started one starting very slow. Omo we weak and omo dada Finland when Russia offensive started. Me say omo bro Finland the former Finland the former who say yes difference wom omo wie na omo twa Finland asase e fire ebesi ne obi antimi nje asase no emfa ma Finland. Georgia the same thing in 2008 obi no wetima je asase ne dia Georgia. And Ukraine, nobody can take back that land. Once they take it, they've taken it. That is how superpowers are. Which is superpower before no of our say our fact. Many we can say America mua, it once belonged to Mexico. And then America even within America. So they stood. So only superpower board than us we Jimmy who manager was wafa obi antimenti. And to those land, they should just admit it. Says they should leave it and give it to Russia. That is the end. I think that would be a peaceful plan. So you see, one of the reasons why Russia ain't teaming fans annex and farmer Ukraine back and they say constitutionally it is now part of the Russian Federation. So if Vladimir Putin say, oh, I'm going to give those lands back, that means Vladimir Putin and Kasombetu for Russia. That means that Vladimir Putin is giving Russia land to Ukraine or he's giving Russia land out. And what the Russians hate is a weak leader. Who is a weak leader, they'll never like you. Antina Gorbachev, upon all what Gorbachev did, the Russian Federation, they hate Gorbachev. That is why they hate somebody like Boris Yeltsin. They hate weak leaders. The Russian people, they like good leaders. Are many a thing. That is who they like. And if I want somebody like who be to say Stalin is a hero, and then Stalin anye, Stalin, yeah, Joseph Stalin anye, but Joseph Stalin is a hero. What I say, they hate weak leaders. So peaceful plan, admit to say, by be a Russia, your land, Ukraine neutrality, regime change. That's all.
Me that say, Tino say. Russian currently running out of manpower and they have to recruit prisoners and drafts. Me assure say this guy is reading from BBC and CNN. What can you say about that? Or say Russia is running out of manpower?
recruiting of prisoners, it is nothing new. I mean, most people don't read history. They don't know what war is all about. Vietnam War, America, the prisoners are quiet. So are you telling me sir, America was also out of manpower? Go back and read Vietnam War. Number two, Russia have a history of using prisoners in war. When Napoleon invaded Russia in 1812, Abra Napoleon drew Moscow. Na Russia phone nyina dwane no mu be prisoners. Enti Napoleon buy no ni prisoners na be kon Moscow. So Russia have that history of using prisoners in war. Not just Russia, America also use prisoners in war. And if you tell me that Russia is running out of manpower, you're a joke. Russia have an army of 1.5 million. And how many people are even in Ukraine? You have about 500,000 in Ukraine and you're telling me that they are running out of manpower. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Russia can mobilize additional 1 million men. Note, America, Ukraine overall commander, which is General Zulushinin, Obiabet Marco, the Economist website, could read the interview now, General Zulushinin had with, the Economist. He said, Russia can recruit additional 1 million men if they want. And American, this is not from Russia's side. This is from Ukraine General Commander on the Nekas Assembly. So catch them say Ukraine, NASA Russia is running out of manpower. You don't know what you're talking about, my man.
Right, but that's it. I was saying what about so now message I'm share more like it's never jumedi e betimi akọ nanim. Mami play Timo video back na area maybe some question one or two be na fi akọ to the next question. All right.
Okay. Africa democracy is nonsense. Democracy is not working for Africa. The Western style of democracy is absolutely nonsense. Africa must find our own system of governance. This Western style of governance is to control Africa. The Western form of democracy is to control our leaders, right? So you see, when you see African leaders in opposition, you think they are the messiah of, our various countries in Africa here. But if you vote for them, they start to misbehave. Do you know why? Because the West sponsor most of them. Only few leaders in Africa here are good. The rest, they are puppets to the West. The West sponsor them. They give them everything they need. So when they take over our various countries, they give our resource back to the West. We need the Russians and Chinese system of governance. If they tell you that the Chinese system of governance is evil, my brother, look at China 30 years ago and look at China today. You cannot just wake up in China and say you want to become leader. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Timo. I think I've lost him. I'm say meet me sabit me as I can be more. Timo. So show me try to rejoin. Let me bring you back on board. Ebusia message say mo amugina so na obi an like it. Those of you on YouTube won't like in a system mo me. Emma nipa dodo na amra so metie no kwe. Mo an share on Facebook on message say mo ina mo share na mo like ni na da bua ma dwumadie. Etimi kwa nim. So baba na say mo an share na sa say won kwa wo hwa na kwa say you are being selfish. Share na like it na system mo me send be dodo na no ebetimi ababetie ensempa ya ye ka kire mo. I think say menu Timo asaba so. Yeah, Timo.
Yeah.
Right. Video I be play ye. Democracy, bone. The international democracy, Africa. Why?
Democracy, said almost presented ma me no mean and as I said almost catch me no mean, I mean that is not what democracy is all about. Democracy, almost say kabina min kabina wan kabi. Kabina min kabi no paso me bizane say e na de aba de na asesa me no mean Freemind ubeka sama minimum no ti nyina ba bete ensesa hwe. What you say? Democracy a cooler Western America no e control wiase. And to say oba oye leader na sa oba kuru bi so na wan beye de omo pa you have only 4 years. They will sponsor the opposition and make the opposition famous to overthrow the incumbent government if you don't do what they want. So democracy is a tool to control the world. Democracy has got nothing to do with say omope leader na agenda. That be a DNT na was say leader na agenda ho o lead krobi adenti na manem to aso. DNT na obaka tell me say leader bia was just 4 years. I don't get it. How many years an akwa lead even in Europe? I only did Germany for how many years? Former Germany vice chancellor. Refinidi Akoya former vice chancellor no Germany. Do Okoya answer no la short say by. I'm we refinidi nkra. Sa woman only over 8 years. Refinidi.
Oh, this is more than refinidi. Ebusamun Kaya, former German chancellor, Granny Friendly.
Angelica Merkel. Angelica Merkel.
Yes,
Angelica Merkel.
Yes.
Look at this woman. She led Germany for so many years. Now I can't even say, yeah, the Africa for the 8 years. Acquire Victor Orban. Walidi a year friend is saying, Hungary. Walidi Hungary for so many years. That man is still leading. So why should you set target for Africa and say they were just 4 years? Now, I'm going to say you imitate America. You see America, no politicians in the control crew. And the globalists and neocons, they control America. So it doesn't matter who become the president of America. And then Joe Biden and finally Donald Trump. But Joe Biden by office, do you know, say the same foreign policy of Donald Trump and Aquari Yusu, I friends Joe Biden Yusu. So that means that you see the foreign policies in it's not within the powers of the presidents in the United States or a neocons in the globalists in the control crew. But here in our case, president and the control crew. And to your president anyansa when it 3 years 8 years a pet call. Again, Tina can Kuromanum Yaman Kuromanum chance I'm man little crew. Kuro bia watumpon a third world country bia watumpon akona nimu nano omo one focused visionary leader would do kuro. You see, you may disagree with Paul Kagame, you may not like him in himself why nema bebribe, but look at Paul Kagame obaye whereby bia wodi ayi wodi ni kuro free na whereby bia odi aduru wali di kuro na cha. But yes, he's focused and to one visionary leader na so di kuro na ni ma nyansa wom echen say na near the odwan ba tena near the aponcha ba tena tia ni asesa the way aba obeba sa hwi ni we be sesa. What I say? So democracy is not good for Africa. Democracy promote tribalism. Democracy promote unnecessary competition. China tried democracy, it started with tribalism. This tribe want to obi when say China, those say they speak Chinese, but they are more abusuako bebrebe our China mu. What yes, almost try democracy now at the competition, just like the way we see in Nigeria. Yoruba want to lead, the Hausa people want to lead, the Igbo want to lead. What I say? But China, funny transform, we say democracy, and they form their own system of governance. And then where baby Vietnam is not practicing the so-called democracy. Where baby a year where baby a friend is in Vietnam are doing it. Vietnam, not Vietnam when you I can tell you, say, even in 66, Ghana was far better than Vietnam in 1966. And then maybe Vietnam agreement when you want to Vietnam. That be, you see, so Kropia and Bribiana or per se, Otumpono, he doesn't practice the Western style of democracy. No. Where baby a Russia for doing it. Russia is not super. Only Russia for a producer. And I bring Russia man for Russia here for. Only Russia. North Korea yet toothpick a crampo yakra. No be at all your tanks or your weapons or your cars or your never be. Now the catcher is only now
Russia, their subway is the best, the whole of Europe. Their subway is the best, the whole of Europe.
Yeah, exactly. Because of during the Soviet time, they used to export a lot of raw materials through Europe. So they have one of the best railway lines. It's a fact. So you can't sit in your country in Africa here now. You brainwash you say Russia for more. Yeah, catcher will say Africa democracy is good. Democracy is not helping Africa. Freemind democracy.
But Timo, you say young blacks, imagine say in a scenario whereby your man penning for 15-20 years now here obi say Ekufuado. Shedewa will see I was say Ghana minus say obi say Nanado Bana say unya be 30 years. Say ne and come there be there can grow. Ne say democracy no over there for 4 years. Na say na say mpoyi na say you free wa. Who say eno mum better.
That be there 18 omonya say they just wake up and say you lead the country. No, it doesn't work that way. First of all, and you create Chinese system of governance now, wouldn't become president in the first place. Neither to talk about say this is what they do. China, the next presidential candidates, no, Yashisho Mabako Semu, in China, you cannot become president in China. So, one leading Nipa over 100 million now. You can't. What I say, you must have experience in politics. That is number one. Number two, you have to check everything. Krom have no be himself for the talk law set to Kramponibi. Obianim, Nipa Berenanim. A lot of people knew Sapapano or old Tuabama now or Babette to minor pansam. But you still went ahead and allowed him to become a presidential candidate. In China, you will not see him on ballot paper. You will not see her on ballot paper. It doesn't work that way. The next presidential candidate, you know, Omo harder that. O say, Timo for the Druba be a young penny for no qua. You move a young minas and your twaba. We are not serious. What I say. So you better shema who say Nipa say Messiankasano, you deserve it before they present you say Yanko Twabamo. Now, you have the right to lead the country for 20 years, 30 years. Yes, if Vladimir Putin do man any match or do man any match. In Russian constitution, no, every 4 years, almost a twaba. And to say leader, no, if you are visionary in life, if say we are visionary, you will continue to rule the country. Right? Vladimir Putin bet my rule could do 20, 30 something. As another time or so. So who visionary 4 years, still never start to abas amount. Kakwame Nkrumah da so tiase na ke no ya brantia e bia ya to abama no 4 years time na so ya de be sa to ama no the time limit no enye just 8 years. He can go beyond the 8 years. What you say? Just like the Chinese system, just like the Russian system. So when your papa so now ba wo 4 years pe udi wi be pia what watch nchen. So your papa so you can rule the country, you can continue to rule the country as far as you want. You can continue. So that is how the system works.
Wow, impressive. Now, if Russia Ukraine war is Ghana and Penny4 have taken advantage. I want to Ghana for them they blame it on Russia Ukraine war. They say the Santontom Kramka will be a Russia Ukraine war, will be near Juma Russia. BBI Russia Ukraine war. Now maybe so about geopolitics. I can see sir you really know a lot. Russia Ukraine war no the impacts on Ghana economy and as a African economy anything.
I want to know again Ghana trade then pan and Russia for no war. I want to know how come Obiti Europe now don't know say the funny thing is say Ukraine no crumpa yet 2 bombs no. Ukraine economy is better than Ghana economy. Their currency is performing better than ours. Or no, I had 2 bombs to Nukuru na Kasano. The economy yet change. So I want to know how is it affecting Ghana?
Wheat cry in Africa. Grains.
You see, you have some kind of funny creatures in your good continent. Yeah, you have funny creatures. Mr. Wood, how is it affecting us? You need Russia for the W. And you be a Burana Boya Deno, Abruno, if Russia and Ukraine are Bagana. And more and a boy didn't more and more boy than Wagana. Your car tomatoes is free Ukraine and a car tomatoes is free Russia. I want to know. It has got nothing to do with our economy. Nothing. Yeah, the economy now pansam dada. Uti krumha. Ena obaye say a man paying for a beninanya. But a man paying for a buy and nobody just less than even 900 million. And nobody told Oba and also under planning for food and jobs. Wudua niema. Okay, and Yamana would anyway, and then the Ghana seeker 2 billion. And I said, I was a Ghana seeker $2 billion near the Apakotomo. Oba and numbers at 900 million. What paid there free 900 million? Aqua could do 2 billion. Now, oh yeah, Niema be say a devalue currency, no. What has this got to do with Russia and Ukraine war? It didn't happen overnight. The economy, no, a time systematically in Ababe drew her. Bosia bebrebe na ye boro bosia ne de koma Ukraine na say boro bosia ne de koma Russia. I don't get it. What boro bosia me ne bosia me ne wo kon ene your total GDP no you can we see debt to GDP and numbers and 90 something percent. What has that got to do with Russia and Ukraine war? That means say next year boa ye sike war my we mu nyina your resource your tax everything ye the mubes and 90 something percent e kwa kotua bosia ka. Anything na ye nya sika fa nyu kwan no anything na yenya sika mfam gu o man no ya buru bosia to the extent say sika wo o man no ye de nyina etua bosia ka now be ka kire me say Russia and Ukraine for ntokwa how is it affecting you? China and Russia omobo border China economy is doing better. Poland Democrat no they are not crying. Poland Democrat no muji refugees. The likes of Hungary no. You see they always want to compare our economies to that of West, like Owen Krubi to say Germany, because of say Germany is struggling, because of say Owen Krubi to say your friend is saying England, and because they are struggling. These are countries that they have economic trade with Russia. Russia they feed you more oil and gas or more economies is running because these countries no more economy no is based on production. Our economy is not based on production. And then our produce Ghana. Oh, oil and gas and we need some faso. Oil and yes, to ni nasa koma brofo. So omuno economies no factories and the economy ni running. And then now so much cheap raw materials and cheap oil in no and more economies in the struggle. But our economy no is export cocoa, gold. Da ben ye de cocoa akodwa man so omo monto. Da ben ye de oil akodwa man so monto. Even war we crampon, we are supposed to benefit from the war because we are commodity producing nation. Now, commodity producing nation biano, German so nyama boa kosoro. Enti ye kwa na ke wase benefit the buyers no na wo so musu because buyers no mumu crampon so a ye na ye koton nyama no mumu. So I don't get it if they tell me say Russia Ukraine war no and am I and sometimes it's very sad. Unya nipa deseni a won't mean transe anka 1+1 in bomu usinity. No so what the politician be say ampa Russia Ukraine war na amaga nebre. We are seeing nebre. Masa enye we are see baby nebre. Vietnam no they are doing better. Botswana wa Africa, Botswana economy is doing better. Burkina Faso no omokrampa military coup d'etat. Ewo ho no Mali, Niger, Mozambique, Angola. Almost some crow way now they are facing civil wars and other stuff. These countries, their economy is doing better than Ghana. Ote Ghana hanum oil. Why Ghana jumanti? What's the oil in India? Coma Bruni. We ya was a time ago did their copy in so massage oil in Libya back. Now the catcher said Russia and Ukraine want to ama Petro Guadia. Why way? Oh, what tema oil refinery, Esitama. Oil refinery in here just 500 million. What's for that time 600 million? Send me back we see a sort of dime. Now oil and I say fuel boy in Wagana. Oh, I catch say Russia and Ukraine war. Are you normal?
Yeah.
So what has this got to do with Russia and Ukraine war? It has got nothing. Fuel and the boy deno. Jimmy. It has got nothing to do with Russia and Ukraine war. Fuel boy den war my way my brother. Tell my oil refinery can stop the whole problem in this country. Ye too oil. Any refinery Wagana. I don't get it. I was here time your oil. England, America. Ni asako back. Asa akwa akoto now when your vice president abegina bonte say or the good ekwa akoto oil now man for tigam now man for h1 mubo mu say man say your vice president this is the first in Africa. What is the first in Africa? Nyansa
for our Facebook for Moshe's Musa message Momo Diana Moshena system no be. This is a very nice discussion. I was able to be at TV. What you say about more Facebook on so likes no so more like a na program to me connecting. Say the network na hanging, let's give him some few minutes. I think say you'll be able to come back on board. Yeah, Timo. Mo fan channel mo nyina mo nim say Ghana networking so there. You all know, I mean, the way I sit here, message mo go so in YouTube, more like it, and Facebook on some share. Now, Jumedi intimi nkɔ we are all learning a lot. Guy, I know me say about geopolitics near there, about history, was there. So it's better say once a while no, you didn't manager, no, it mission baby, if you know. Let me see if I can re-establish contact with him. On Samra Subim na Yentuaso. Yeah, Timo so Timenka, you so link no Sabra so why. Let me see if I can get him here. Yeah, Busunya or Basisia, why? We are not promoting war. Why? We are making logical analysis. What's the whole situation I say. Near Ecoso, Russia, Ukraine. We want you guys to understand. Africa for MPP, yeah, na our only source of information, CNN, BBC, the Western media. Almost no MPP, no, among can't all the truth. They say they have it maybe a yatro. It maybe so I have truth. In the no ye be when ni ama wati the whole situation I say. What you say at least ignorance is an industry, and which I wouldn't want you to be part of such an industry. You say the illiterates of the 21st century will not be those who have not been to school, but those who cannot unlearn and relearn. Timo, once again, welcome back.
Thank you, bro.
Right. Based on that, let me ask you, sir. What is the relationship between Africa and Russia? Is it based on economy and also military? Yeah, relationship or no? Say na is it here?
Africa relationship with Russia has always been military, right?
Okay.
Has always been military, not economically. Russia relationship, Russia for no moment bahasa omo no enemy na eba beko omo no enemies na want to kwa no mo ko wa no. Now, omo notice the West economy is based on Africa, right? They build their economies based on Africa economy and the Middle East. And international some invading crew Middle East we more resource like the likes of Libya, Syria, Iraq, Iran. International more time be more confusion just to stay their way. Over Africa, as for the Western Americans, so the same thing in Africa, they destabilize Congo, Sudan. Yeah, we be seen that they be out to Sudan for want to there be a hand there be a in Africa because of the Western America are destabilizing in Kuno. You mudi resource. But Russia for no they are here because of some money the Western American ideological difference and ideological battle. They know say they are able to defeat the Western America in Africa here. The Western America no so most economies be collapse. Yeah, omo Russia for intimate kubim. So over Russia for Africa relationship na military. But sometimes because of say military, you need economically means so bit more funding military. Until through they help Africa militarily in some few aspects. But the main focus has never been distant economically, it has always been military. So that is it.
Right. Osha Western nations now, most of them have got military bases in Africa. US, France, UK, ama ya na yetaka ho asem say Africa. Enye say a different country will come and have their military base here in Africa. Now na mete say Russia for so they are in Sudan now. They are putting up military base in Sudan and all these things. Now, you as a person, do you welcome Russian military bases in Africa and why?
To be honest with you, Africa doesn't need military bases. It doesn't help us. Because the moment I will know be to now nipa na say use military base in ano dia point here. Anything Kwame Nkrumah, I remember I've listened to this before. Kwame Nkrumah condemn most of the African countries, all African Congress, or condemn most of the African countries, America and the West, they building military bases. But the problem of Sudan have no option, right? Sudan have no option than to bring in the Russians. And if you look at the Russians are trusted partners. Now, over Syria, Ansana, over Russia and Sudan, Sudan for the mum, and I invited Russia for the say, Mumbesi military base waha, na mumboye, na yanko entire time for. Without the military base,
I think say network, as I can
Russia cannot
right.
help Sudan.
Yeah, you. Asem we busia mofanche no. Ghana no
I do not prefer. I'm not prefer Mintra. I'm not prefer line also.
Oh, okay. All right.
So now you see, Sudan for the moment I invited Russia for the same. Mumbesi military base waha. Na mumboye. What you say? And Russia
Yeah.
for no, I will say in history, no, you can go to Syria, even Syria, for instance. Russia forcing military base are they have not they have no interest in maintaining the base. Sometimes on
Okay.
bit map so the different
Okasa na take up.
from
Em say me
invite
okay, right. Asaba
what
yanko, Asaba, take away Asaba.
okay. Okay. So in Corona they invited Russia some basic military base there in Kurunum because of say
Right.
person your friend is in Sudan. So there is vast difference between Russia military base and American military base. Don't forget, I've forgotten about this country name. I can't want something. America and England before. When you say Kurobi Africa, how no more? What to Kuroni Munipen no more military base. And Africa,
Wow.
I've forgotten about the name. Yes. Yes, they've sacked all of them. It is between
Wow.
Angola. I'll show you the map one day. I think that
Yeah,
guys.
Okasa na okay, Asaba.
Yes, military base on. This is what they do.
Wow.
And if you look at American military bases in Africa, no, almost had the Kutia Yankasa. Yeah, blacks run on military bases in Kutia. Because when to Africa hanging America funds our weapons in free omukrumumbo. The military bases here no all man almost weapons no edeko. But Russia
yes.
for is different.
Say yes, it's called Chagos Island.
Chagos Island. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's even about two islands in Africa here. At least anybody in the Oka. So I'm happy so be proper. About two islands, I'll get the names, I'll get all of them and make a separate video. Then now one can post it. Then people will get to know I've been a part of America for So about difference of women.
May I say, Timo, you can say BRICS again. Now say I shall say those days. Some few years ago now, YNT BBS, but you say no better BRICS nations nearly. You can say BRICS again.
Okay, BRICS and crew best 5 do Macom Brazil, India, China, Russia, and South Africa. And Macom
yeah, Timo, cost about now. Yeah, not cost about phone so. Like okay, say cost so bad now.
Sa me kate course no.
Yo mo na say am not na take off. Shall be mama breaks no shall be mama because okasa no ayi take off kasa take off. Yeah.
What me ka dey?
Say dey bibia dem clear yetio.
Okay. So BRICS no Brazil nkuro be say 4 bi and as 5. Nkuro 5 bi na come ho abom. Yeah, o mate BRICS no. With Brazil, China, India, Russia, and South Africa. And o come ho abom o mate BRICS. Now the into o mate BRICS and say over Russia for now. Any this BRICS nation now, man say America for $1 no
mo friend no so munya ye sanko fi o mo fiafo o life be how adwen sa ye nkotimo asemo onya hwia ya mfrɛ wo da onya ba live pa na so de program pe ne be frɛ sa me sin nkofo yi enyezi o Abubakari Sadiq say I say Eric, people like you are the reason why this country is lacking behind. Oh, Memuano. Memuano. Okay, Timo, welcome back. I'm on for anything to our brother.
No, Mr. Woody life for crying first. Now our life, me na more friend me no. Me mean to I want to say kasa. Enti, me tin bani bi asempo. What is a program na me work no. Invitation link na me dey abaso. Enti wo friend me kra pesa wo kasa. Wo timi kasa. Na me so me tin peke wo phone no kasa.
Yeah.
You see, BRICS and the two omote and say, US for our weaponized dollar no. Or my weaponized dollar in the sense say, oh yeah, DBA, or more say you see.
was for more
BRICS
of friend or some program so be muntie me. Enche bia Timo be we are with the link if you are watching on YouTube or your live chat no so me pin the link in wo. I will soon pin the link on Facebook too. Opesa wo baso na so to me chire wadwen a. Me ma mbe 10 minutes bi na afre for some family munti. Munsi abotre mo amo hati mo adwen no munsi abotre why. I will send the link to Timo. Na say will be our friend person baso bia Timo just for send you the link so that you can also come on board and also air out your view. Tibese say munina munsi abotre. Timo, yanko.
Yeah. So BRICS, almost BRICS, just to counter US dollar, no, because US dollar no more so that is the main reason why I want to BRICS. Now BRICS, a commodity backed currency. Now America forces we are seeing America for Africa hanoma omo beto gold America for fashion ba and once America for atino mukrum no ma printed dollar no mo dey about Africa no ma beto you good your resource no mo dey ko and Russia for an answer China ne Brazil ne South Africa ma transfer se nkwase asem die ntina wo so obi tena no kuro mu twa sika no dey ba ukuru ma be dey resource sika enya hwe eye pipes but
Yes.
BRICS currency a commodity backed so America person
Mo amo friend ni asem o nti ofra obi a no mfa nti wunya ofra obi a no mfa nti wunya di asem kra ni
Adio afi mutemenka
ye to nga fa yanko.
Okay, so the tieni BRICS currency untimi ntina ukuro kuntwa sika emfa mba kuru bi so se wo ba beto niema da bi a commodity backed I say barter trade and it's America pay ye gold wa Ghana ha was so di na japade eba no so ba no so beje yeso ya japade de ko a commodity backed was say ye mienu nyina no we nya japade was
Yeah.
$1 is backed by nothing and once what na krum no watch papers now the other man for japade de ko krum Ghana ko bobo say free America.
Timo.
Yeah.
Timo.
Yeah.
Me ma be na bako nipa na ofro no fa friend na che ni se wo live nti no.
Okay.
Onya ofre no ntwe na wi. Why?
Yeah.
Because area obe disturb ye pa. Ofre obi nipa na mfa. Nti be friend 100,000 ansa no se nipa no. Making be nipa no available. Ade you common sense o. Eno tin na baby you preach common sense no. Baby na you see adwen. Wa frɛ obi a be 15 times on fa so la go so frɛ. De enko a. Oh. Yeah, nti no so wo hwɛ me on YouTube o check live chat no mu a me pin link na obetimi afa so e de aba dwumadi so no honom in about 10 minutes time me ready I'll make it known to you na obi bia on so person oba so kire wadwen bia within be 10 minutes me ma mo chance no na mo nyina so motimi aba so so mo hwɛ on Facebook nso o hwɛ comments na se ho a me pin link no ho emre no so na se me ka se bra so onso no obetimi use that link no now the abadwumadi so now what me ase wadwen ba you have the option to either show your face or not to show your face so one person obiara be hu animu a eno ane say obedum camera no so one person oba so na obiara hu say wo you can just leave your camera on no aba so now so wetimi ase wadwen fe it's as simple as that yen twa ye nua Timo na afi yen to aso I think say wasaba so bi ma me fa no na yen to aso yeah Timo
Yeah. Afi mutemenka.
Bibi Adem pa.
Okay, good. So now me three BB BRICS on say BRICS and the difference what BRICS some of them can right there.
Bibi are very clear.
Okay,
Super.
very good. And the difference the woman say over American dollar now we are seeing now the dollar in the digger. Now over dollar now say the dollar in here Germany or America for the detail we are seeing in anye. Amaka so mo oil na so one for more. Yes, ayi e ma won fa yi ni ndibia biem e ma fa dollar ndibia biem e na hwe dollar ne so ya sisie dollar ni ya sisie pa hwe dollar na de dollar ni ye ni dollar no eye pipes omutwa ɛnyɛ hwee nti America pɛ Ghana gold a ɛno nso ɔne natena ne kurom na ɔne natwa papers dollar no na ɔde aba yɛ kurom na ɔne nabɛsesa yɛ gold yɛ oil yɛ bauxite yɛ resource nyina na ɔne de kɔ ne kurom abra ɔno no wanya adwuma biara ɛno nso ɔne de watena ne kurom na ɔne de watwa papers ɛde aba bɛgye resource ɛna BRICS for na hu sɛ anaasɛ South Africa all these countries who form BRICS hu sɛ yɛn kwasi asɛm 60 and the currency be bar BRICS which is commodity backed. And you bet me Ghana the city diga, bet me US, but be bet me the one case diga, but it must be commodity backed. And it's America for Ghana aba beji gold da. And what's American so dia Japadi be free no kurum e de babeji gold. Not a situation whereby it's America the people e babeji gold e we ye kurum. America, the people, oil will crude. It is not going to work that way again. Now, according to some barter trade, just like Gaddafi was doing, Gaddafi, there is no way that Gaddafi will sit in his country and allow you to say what the paper again or the resource. Not Gaddafi in Penesa. And it's no. So this is the same vision now. BRICS currency now coming together more creating commodity backed. And it's now we say China is buying more gold. Russia have more gold. That is why this BRICS currency they are packing gold. South Africa is already having gold. And to Krobe now we need resource in order to trade. Yeah, Africa, you're using your resource. No? Yeah, we don't have to go and buy again. We already have the resource. And yeah, bet now, and BRICS currency in the Krampo yeah, Juma. Because America for you cars I never be no more diaba. Gold. Yeah, gold you will do a hard at that. So we don't have to work for it again. They have to work hard for us. And to over Corona or Munina coming together some form of BRICS now. Most of them are commodity producing nations, right? They produce a lot of things on the market. They have resource. And you know, this is going to help us. Africa is going to help us. And your situation about so bit in the corona not printing papers, not their better resource at the court. Yes, I be no. Yes, I be any. So BRICS and on the difference, on the difference. I don't know.
It is a Africa, join it. We can say BRICS, Don't you think, sir, you're jumping from one slave master to the other? Sir, we are jumping from the West. About slavery, we see them like our slave masters. We are jumping from them to the Russian or to the Eastern side.
No, because BRICS, nobody will have power over BRICS currency. Nobody, not even Russia, not those who created it. Obiano bet me the BRICS currency, a sanctional. Because notice this BRICS currency, it's kind of like barter trade in the area. What I say, it's kind of like barter trade. And two, every country can trade with their own currency once it is backed by commodity. So every country have the right to trade with its own currency. Say, me Ghana, me the currency, Sidino, diga. How can you sanction me? Because the currency belongs to me, right? A system, and I sano. To say first, and the currency baku diga. This time around, we have the opportunity to trade with multiple currencies. We have the opportunity to trade with commodities. It's kind of like barter trade. So nobody is going to have the power over a currency when it comes to BRICS. So to say US dollar, the West and the America now the control. But with the BRICS, nobody control it. So that is the difference.
Wow. That's a bit for maybe lines, So besa obaso Timo waha or question be an answer or contribution be also no Ubit Media but so share on Facebook share comments na se me pin link no so share on YouTube so or share live chat in say ho me pin link no I'm leaving the links also in the comments Ubit me afaso on YouTube na also no what me abadwumadi no so na also what me ache wadwen anti abusia wo pese wo che wadwen akonya no ho Ubit me abaso sisia now also no what me actually concerning what is being discussed here. Russia-Ukraine war, the BRICS are blocked, the BRICS are currency, the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on African economies and what have you. Message say within 10 minutes per opesa obaso. Now chewadria akwanya naba obetimi abaso no chewadrin. Within just 10 minutes message say monya fast opesa obaso ya fast na braso betchire wadwin, right? And what's I train at TF1? Let me ask you this question. Yes. Yeah, now MPP, okay, I think so will be about something. I mean for Nipa we na fe Ian Twaso. Yeah, Isaac.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean yeah.
Freemind.
What you mean
Um,
about there?
Bokor.
Would
My
you maybe
question
have
be,
free why? Wala Roma.
me free US.
US,
Me
okay.
question be me person bisa Timo. I think
Okay.
some people me is post this question on the comment section, but me say me who no so ni opinion on this. Me no na me believe say be sa Kwame Nkrumah etumi unite Africa. Is it likely Sanka Obe form more alliance with Russia, China, and India than US and the European countries? Nana, what is his opinion on that?
I think Kwame Nkrumah joined the non-aligned movement. Even in UN Security Council, Kwame Nkrumah was non-aligned. If Africa had united and here alliances because we will be more powerful. So if unity had been achieved, I don't think say Kebe here Mwasa. So Kwame Nkrumah wouldn't have aligned himself with none of them. I think Kwame Nkrumah would have worked with all of them. He wouldn't single out say only we be because already Ghana joined the non-aligned movement. Most of the country joined the non-aligned movement, and I think Africa as well would have joined the non-aligned movement. So I believe so. Kwame Nkrumah kono bi abeyeduma.
Okay. But when this at that time, he was in the process of forming African unity. In the end, best to him say, obey joining any of the group. In this or ma to me fulfill the African unity, whereby he is now strong, just like the way China is more or less like, go more towards of to China. China going more into Russia than the Europeans and the US. And can we this say with time after so we are fulfilling the BBI is more stronger, no? And Quebec more of China and Russia than US, because technically it doesn't make sense. Say at the onset of unyenye super power, unyenye e so be declare will stand. Say can support we and I'm some support we because I know the ake me this I can no kra. And I me say
Yeah, that is future 7 and now working.
yes.
Nobody can tell the future. Because Osinka or for me, don't I see say China
Yeah.
or let me say Russia. It could have happened, but once so young united, so no, we don't know what would have happened. So none of us really know what would have happened. But I believe that maybe if he was alive and maybe if Africa had united, maybe by this time, maybe we would have even joined BRICS. I have no idea for that one, because a future assembly in here can happen.
Okay.
What am I saying?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
all right. You are welcome. Amin Kofa, let me take him out and go to DJ. I think JD. Okay, JD. Minwakwaba.
Oh, Major Do.
Minu ya now kasa
Hello.
friend. Yeah, you talk
UK.
about. UK.
UK.
Okay, yet yo.
Kaka pada me kan there. Problem now conditions between Russia and Ukraine is way back. It's way back. There was a country called Kaza. No, from Kaza Empire. Okay, when I came one from Kaza, now yeah, Kaza Empire. The same territory, what today is known as Ukraine. Until the Akobani said, some costs, I didn't know person, you want to control the whole area. In wicked way, I am Sicilian. So their empire was destroyed by Russians. Into a petty. In the woman form Ashkenazi Jews. Ashkenazi. Now, who say end up Nazi. So they are the founders of Nazis. Intimema, and you'll be able to say, yes, Israel for sending weapons into Ukraine. No, they are all part of it. They have been part of it. They have been tried so many times just to bring Russia down, but they can't, and they will never ever. Into Timo, me follow Timo, but the background into enemy you see different social media. The Timo can exactly true. I mean, that's what is happening. But the all can also say Russia, African. Yes, Russia, Africa. And idiot. You'll be able to say Russia, Africa. They're not doing it. Now, if you so, nipa no friend also for US and I saw tears as Kwame Nkrumah no nye dom. Because sabi obi a waba Nkrumah abeche wunuanom akọ nkwasu. Na we benya ho fa wodi no tumi uniting nkofo ho say and them still na me no ba be friend. It's anko same way we can wan fa. Nti your problem is Africa for problem is still na ya da asa yesum at the boyef
the Western world, no, yeah, some of too much. As if you will be Okasakura and chairman, there be America for the near the serious.
Yes, Akufo the record. Me born the Akufo the record. Then I just saw by president. Freeman, we should one time in my friend. Well, when I make say Miami, you see different. My friend, the catch us mine no accent, no can get accent because it's nowhere to be found. Oh, what UK for UK? What color London? London has a different. Manchester different. Liverpool different. Scotland different. Newcastle different. Northern Ireland different. Republic of Ireland different. Republic of Ireland, we did Republic of Ireland different accents of English. America, all the states they have different accents. Instead of said that time, oh yeah, criminal. That guy said criminal from the father. No matter baby sisu. You know, this guy, this guy won't. Anyway, you go to Ghana. To be honest, I am a pastor, me a canio because many never pay to go back with crap. I am a papa. Oh, seriously, I am because social history and you destroyed Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah. Come on, man. Now, another funny part, religion. So I'm Christian Muslim. The time Kwame Nkrumah person in United African, who said Nigeria for reason why they fought against him. So Kwame Nkrumah person they could come on Northern Ireland. Northern Africans. Though in the history, North Africans were not original Africans. Okay, the people actually from there are blacks, which is now modern day called Awasa. Awasa for one or more Libya or Algeria was territory. I know you want there, but and there's one woman. 90% are Muslim.
That's it. I'm ready to.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That's it. Thank you. I mean, Ebin Mabasuntino. I'm ready to. Okay. Nana Usu. Me
Oh, Chief, at the same Boko.
Boko down swear. You share a check.
And then I met him at Trap. I will life. Not enemy. America.
Now say be bring na kasa be ba live okrampo ya omunya yi bia na say system na asa na ti o
Timo wa din komo pa na de ma hu ne say your problem pa ye am say a boy youth no but machini pa because I was in China.
Okay.
For Guangzhou we China we had 12 hours who akola na de akola the Penia Batan who's wrong. Now, Penny the experience, now transfer the energy.
Yeah.
Oh, them say a problem of what Africa pa say where Timo history or make his own. Say or energy pan or very brilliant. It is like a penny be support no. And what guiding this is an example. It's me who said I was set and penny for them so we intimidated, but the beer them so Freeman who's Freeman who didn't win answer with the social media and is the crowd.
But that's it.
A time now, but we are done here. I want to win your time now.
Yeah.
80 and penny for us one pro and pro a time now.
Yes.
Because I was in Afghanistan, come back so 2015 to 2020. And some of team working in America here. America for almost now my year is a Yamasa. So if it's a Yamabe you from Munya Butsana, you have support Musana. You referee my bed, you betting come up back the way.
Matieja, no problem. Why? I am not premium. Why?
You wait for you. Okay, that's
Okay. All right. Yo, thank you so much. All right, yo, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Say Obi nso aba so that the no am say. Okay, Ken. All right. Yeah, I mean you can. Me mo
Yes,
kwaba.
sir. Yes,
Boko there.
sir. Boko money Juma.
Me da say German no ya na no say German flag ne Ghana flag bi watch.
My country, Ghana, German. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love. I'm always present. I love my land. You see, it's too. Ghana is big and German is small, but
Germany is
I love because that I'm here. Opportunity now. I'm very appreciate. And
right.
Ghana so always I maintain it. Now
Ghana for net you so yanko.
Okay. Yo, me da say na me chia wa hwefo ne wa otiefo nyin. Money Juma. Wana wanya bre anase wanya kwan na obie Ghana fo ani no. Nyame ene nananom enta mochi abre nyina. Yenua pani anase yenua o kan ho yi no. Manage ya na me hwe no Facebook sometimes adwumam ene babia adwuma a ɔyɛ no ɔyɛ adwumadene awerɛho sɛ bibiman yɛnte nsɛm a wo yɛnua Freemind ɛne yɛnuanom saa afoɔ yi no ɛne nkyirima yi no yɛsu ɛne yɛawerɛho a yɛwɔ mu no yɛ na awerɛho metie ne paa na ne nyinaa ne sɛ ne nsɛm a wɔka no me nso no the same concept no mewɔ na ɛwɔ sɛ abibiman na sometimes the medi ya woni say Ghana and Africa no ye mpanimfo no a wo moye slave master enkoa no a mudi yeso no mo no e preach ye wrong anything ye nti ensemase
say the network na bodani kakra say network na sa bodani all right, we there facha me say when Timi engine so it's not my doing. On network ni stable, I think say okay, I think say WhatsApp asubi na we say to betimi akasa na yento aso. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Yes.
I don't know, something wrong with the net. Okay.
Yes.
Maminki can tell me that I'm obi so mra. They make can say
me ha Ghana.
There be or Germany so. Again, Germany
network something wrong where somewhere. Hello.
And the opa dum camera no why? Dum camera na kasa, dum camera no. Dum camera na yenti your voice in one. Because video no buy na demanding more.
Okay.
Yes, yeti o. Hello.
If he say as a ye koyanim by asemu ya Russia and as American and AD Russia no afe na ebe dani wiase ani me share video bi and as me share documentary bi almost 8 years ago na afe na ebe si asem no so na the American nyina ne say China friends Russia ebe win war no and as so called war no Russia ebe se be dinkunim na omudi nkunim a at end no America anim begu ase asem we no enya ade a ase asie but afe na ebe daadie na ni nyina ne say ohun say yemfa ewi ase ankasa no empire ne enipa ebe ewi ase no nyina no at end no afe na no kre ebe daadie afe na ewi ase ebe tiniema ase na ne ya ne ya ne say yenhwe Ghana Ukraine war ntino uduru Ghana oil board ne woko Aximua, what I'm sure no, Kubanwa, Ghana Ninto, Kubanwa. Enum pono ahoɔden wɔ mu sene anwa na ɔmo de firi America ne so called countries na ɔmo de ba no. Ghana kɔkɔhwɛ baabi a yɛyɛ ngo anaasɛ baabi a yɛyɛ saa nneɛma a ɛyɛ anwa ne saa no ngo nkuto ne saa nneɛma no. Ɔpɛni ɛyɛ adeɛ a ka Ghana no yɛn mpanimfoɔ na aborɔ ɛwɔ ɔmo tiri mu no. Sɛ adwene papa wɔ ɔmo tiri ma ɛyɛ de na ɔte Ghana na ɔkɔnzema yɛde kuba anwa ne adwe ɛyɛ ngo any whatever no adwenwo any de keka ho na oman no entimi nwene enhunu se saa process no any saa nneema no nyinaa no wo se yetimi ye bibi fa ho eniti no areho se ye man no yenya enkoa leaders omugu yeso na emumu no ye nua na sem okan efa war against Ukraine no enya war you can say
special military operation.
Ana ni nyina nso no de omuni say secret de omuni say wo mo de fa so friends American for de fa so apenkwa wo mo a ombeye masa as ye do achi e te say de friends akufu do kwa American wo se Burkina.
Yeah, I can see my back. You're ready to not young rap here, boy. We are almost exhausting your time.
Friends, Russia for a operation. Now, that time, na Lawrence was one. Now, you West African military operation. Not woman and a year Juma boom. Now, who could follow the Oba any day? It's hard in a year Juma bio. Name who call master a ho. Oh, and Malcolm X can say, be say, you are qua or year Juma will fear, not address here. Now, Master Didia or money BD. And ye wa enkoa omugumura ma reaction 24 hours enti ye hwe ye mpanimfo na kufu ado no no ene maama ne onko no wo mo no yare a no ma for pray wo yare a wo rebu e
I think so I hear na me do be see
any adwuma wo ye no
mama found
say ho pa nyame kan ho yeah me da say
you mate. Right, say obiame will be tino. Timo, we de yade yedwumadie ebewie no. Nia obeka etwato ebia na bibi do akoma so na pese oka na so eja me bisawo. Mama sa akonya no, nia pese oka bia na afa yefa dwumadie emrewie.
Je meka twato ni Freemind minim say okra wa invite ma babeduru baby bisa so na ade ntina yanka ekrum asema ya na ma yakeka Russia and Ukraine war sensem ne ebi adwenbe o mo say ase yenim de yeye. But is the point person be nani there's a new world order yempo eba affect here Russia and Ukraine war no who win the war determine the future of Africa, determine the future of the rest of the world. We are saying so menu ni wo mu bi visa na wo pa kwa brochire ntira wani akatakata won pese wo betie no kura na menua ukoduru ho no ma emre wato na akwa pepa what na wukuru ma
sa same way yeah menua Timo sa same way me se wonya ka America fo ho asem na to ho asem pe visa bia obi penti
what that sort of time
just on pekretie I dio we are too easily brainwashed. You see, blacks are easily brainwashed. Oma bibini aduane ketua bi a obetimi aton na busuafo ne ne dache nyina de ahya wonsa. Jale ye mobo. Yeah, mobo. Yeah.
So, the Rebecca one is look, this is an opportunity to also fight for your freedom. What I say, I mean, menu me need to go battlefield on to me also me say me nko wu ma bruni bia. Omoko montoko omoko, but me pesa man for te de koso ase. I think so also bo time no pesa man for hu de koso wo wi ase ankasa. Don't be brainwashed. Yes. So if they succeed in deceiving you about this war, they will succeed again in deceiving you. Say they also Africa hano, they have nothing. Or say and some person much less be there also Africa no. But we are brainwashed to the point to say we believe in any nonsense they tell us. It is time for us to enlighten ourselves. So they make a to one Freemind.
But that's it. Now say obi person of war, how do they get you? Or number be a odi to draw. So obi person of phrases one now.
Freemind better my number. Wait. me friend ya. Eti me friend ya me ko me everyone so wabu me betru baby na me na bush. Betimi ko di akurase be some days if you look through my refi nya pecture na betimi ko bush a metwa ade bi akire. Unim say oil na ye ka no. Unim say Ghana nyame akire ya to the extent say ye wo petrol ni bu ho a e ya aduaba omutimi tete aduaba bi e process sa aduaba no e ma ne da no fuel. Ye wo Ghana ha no. Abuyo wo Ghana ha no enso yete ya yenim so far so.
Wow.
So we are not just blessed by natural resources. We are also blessed. Even on land, we are blessed. When you know Ghana, Hanum.
And I saw that you Anyway,
so,
your social media handles are Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. But this web new YouTube channel. Yeah, if I link no send me share on my community for you. Why?
Mate. Timo Media on YouTube, Timo Media 360 on TikTok, Timo Media 360 on Facebook. And about local politics and so I Timo Media. And I think I may say about back elections about back to local politics. I'll be doing both. So open matter about local politics at Timo Media, but geopolitics is Timo Media 360. I don't want to mix it because what makes them I say I'm out for now, Bibrina, what country so that's why I'll be. So me da say Freemind, me da me akonya dia ma me da say
thank you so much. We are mefro why? We are mefro. Me da say thank you so much. I believe say yesua de pa ahia na me de dwumadi ebesi. Ya de asomdwe na yepe na emom no. We are here to change the narrative. You see, motie BBC ni CNN ne Al Jazeera mo ni ade a ya na empepe no e atro na omudi mo. We are here to, expose you. Some be who near ekoso no matias yes and be obi na da. Ignorance is an industry, a very big industry, which I wouldn't you guys to be part of such a shameful industry. It's not a home here say and pay yeba life will say na yitimi church and some was na mutimi enyamo honti ase. Mo a mutimi friend no me da mo say mo a mutimi commenting and so no me da mo say. Mo a mugu so nyina mesra sɛ obi bia like ansa na wafiri dwumadi no so ne nyina na boa ma dwumadi no ɛtumi kɔ n'anim so ɔba na sɛ one like here akɔyɛ sɛ you are being selfish we say a very powerful message ɛwɔ sɛ yɛhyɛ ɛma ɛduru amansan na Ghanafoɔ nyinaa ɛtumi tie na obi bia nso adwene mu ɛtumi ɛda hɔ. It's as simple as that. Na meka wɔ sɛ wokɔ Facebook we have 2 pages. Your main page, your Freemind family, and your backup page, your Freemind family news. So call TikTok, your Freemind family. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, also your Freemind family and Freemind family news. The YouTube, the main channel, your Freemind family, and the backup channel, your Freemind family news. On Facebook, the main page, your Freemind family, and the backup page, your Freemind family news. This will not be the last program. And and as I said, minya akonya na Timo Media Reba Live here na ya discuss geopolitics, international relations, and your ma Africa na ibetimi aye ibetimi aboa yen as a continent. Inti ahaya na medemo ebesi Triple Shell was say I'm very proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you too. Thank you so much. And Medamu nyina must say thank you so much. Uhia me number opesa ofre me number ni nie uhia me number opesa o contact maybe ana o information bi o nkomo bi a opesa yedi o video bi o moa bi anything me nka send the omoa echo number we so me say o moa bi de boa me dwumadi a media frɛ me see number we so ofre na say won san come here just leave a voice note me tia I'll surely get back to you. Compare me were Juma being so I may aside, social media. Tiana Membreno. Yana very tight. Apart from that, so many groups, freedom fighters groups near the meeting and Tiana me time only very limited. Into free, that's a son come here. And besides the time difference, Ebiana Sam Rena now de freno. Na making crap na mada. Cause baby we lead Ghana by 3 hours. Ofra check the time. Baby we lead Ghana by 3 hours. Inti Bia Oberfrena Mada. Antia na ni nyinaa no factors into the reason why yana mofra mo sentiment coming into frɛ na sɛ onsan come here just leave a voice note with here I'll surely get back to you. It's as simple as that. Let's wise suppose thank you so much Chairman Freemind me that mo nyinaa so mase ebusua ahaya ɛna me de mo besi sɛnea mo nyinaa mo nim no me din the Chairman Freemind makram.